The first thing I noticed at Marcello's was the glitter. There was glitter on the linen tablecloths, glitter on the printed menus, even glitter somehow embedded in the soft lighting that floated over the private dining room. My younger sister loved sparkle, and this engagement dinner looked exactly like something Lily would post on her social feed with 17 heart emojis and an inspirational quote. I was 29 years old, allegedly a grown man, and still my stomach knotted the moment I stepped into a room full of relatives. Nora walked beside me, her hand looped through my arm, steady as ever. She adjusted my tie with practiced precision and gave me a look that said, "Breathe," before I even realized I had stopped. We moved toward the ornate gold frame that held the seating chart. The board was covered in cream cardstock and stylish calligraphy, table assignments looping across the page like delicate vines. Table 1, Family of the Bride. Table 2, Family of the Groom. Table 3, Close Friends. Table 4, Additional Relatives. I searched for my name. I found Aunt Maya, who still sent me cat memes at 2 in the morning. I found Cousin Leo, who once set a toaster on fire at a picnic. I found Lily, of course, and her fiancé, a cheerful software analyst named Marcus, who actually seemed to like our chaotic clan. I did not find Alex Carter. Nora followed my gaze. Her forehead creased. She traced the names again, slower this time, as if my name might appear if she simply cared hard enough. Nothing. Someone behind us laughed, a sharp tinkling sound that felt like decorative glass shattering. My mother emerged from the cluster of guests, wearing a blue dress and the smug smile of a woman who believed she had arranged every molecule of the evening. "Alex, Nora, I did not actually think you would make it," Diane said, loud enough for nearby tables to hear. Her tone was sweet. Her eyes were knives. Nora offered a polite smile that was about 90% acting. "Where would you like us to sit, Diane?" My mother flicked her eyes toward the bar. "There was an issue with the head count. I am sure you will be more comfortable over there. You like your space." There it was, the gentle shove toward the sidelines, wrapped in silk. We crossed to the marble bar and slid onto 2 stools. The bartender looked like he had seen every variety of family disaster. He poured 2 glasses of red wine without even asking for our order. From the raised platform of the bar area, I had a perfect view of the entire celebration. My sister glowed under the soft chandeliers. Teachers from our childhood, co-workers, distant cousins, everyone seemed to have a place. Everyone except the son, who had allegedly become too difficult to seat. Nora clinked her glass gently against mine. "You know this is not about a missing place card," she said. I took a sip of wine and let the burn settle in my chest. "I know. I just keep hoping I am wrong." That was when my cousin Ethan appeared beside us, hands shoved in his pockets, expression guilty enough to trigger an earthquake. Ethan cleared his throat, a sound that belonged more in an ambulance bay than in a restaurant lit by tiny candles. As a paramedic, he had delivered bad news beside highways and in cramped hallways. I had never seen him this nervous. "Alex," he said, sliding onto the stool next to me. "Congrats on the Nexacor promotion. Senior architect is a big deal." "Thank you," I answered, waiting, because compliments from Ethan usually arrived with invitations, not dread. He checked that my parents were out of earshot. "There is something you need to know. About tonight. About the last few months." Nora set down her glass. "Then say it," she told him. "The missing seat card is not a mistake," Ethan said. "Your mother did not forget you. She wanted you at the bar." My jaw clenched. Why would she want that? "She has been calling relatives," Ethan replied. "Telling them you changed after your promotion, that you think you are better than the rest of us, that you said family events are beneath you now." I laughed once without humor. I still drive the same rust-colored hatchback. I still bring potato salad to every cookout. When did that become arrogance? "It did not," Ethan said quickly. "But she sounds convincing. She told my mom you refused to come to Uncle Jerry's birthday party. She told Grandma that you were tired of hearing old stories, so Grandma stopped calling because she thought she was respecting your wishes. I was never invited to that party, I said, and I have been wondering why Grandma went silent. Nora tilted her head. What about the anniversary dinner for your grandparents last month? The one your mother said he skipped for a work trip. Ethan winced. He never knew about it. Your mother told everyone he did not bother to show. Every cold look from relatives, every awkward pause, every unanswered text suddenly had a single author. That is not all, Ethan added. She told Lily that you called the engagement a mistake and that Marcus is a participation trophy in a suit. I stood so fast my stool scraped across the floor. I would never say that. Marcus is kind and Lily is happy. That is all I ever wanted. I know, Ethan said, but Lily does not. She thinks you disapprove and that you asked to sit apart tonight. Nora rested a hand on my arm. This is not random gossip, she said. This is deliberate isolation. I overheard your mother near the bar, Ethan said. She told Marcus' parents that you have anger issues now, that you might cause a scene. That is why you are seated out of the way. Across the room, my mother laughed, one hand on my father's shoulder, as if she owned his spine. The people at that table believed I had done this to myself. Do not confront her yet, Nora said quietly. Please, give me a few minutes. For what? I asked. For leverage, she replied. You know how your mother loves to hear herself talk. I am going to give her an audience. She finished her wine, straightened her dress, and headed toward the hallway that led to the restrooms and the small alcove near the coat room. Ethan watched her go. Should I be worried for Aunt Diane? For once, I said, feeling heat harden into focus. She should be. 15 minutes crawled by. From the bar, I watched the party move without me. Lily laughed with her bridesmaids. Marcus posed for photos. My father raised a toast, gaze sliding over the bar as if my stool did not exist. Then Nora appeared from the hallway, cheeks flushed, phone in hand, expression bright with dangerous satisfaction. She sat beside me and set the phone on the bar. Good news, she said. Your mother talks more than I remembered. You got her to open up, Ethan asked. Nora nodded. I told her I was worried about how much you had changed. Then I asked how I should handle you. She treated me like a trusted ally. She opened her recording app and hit play. Diane's voice flowed from the tiny speaker, clear and confident. I am so glad someone else sees it, Nora. Success has gone to his head. Alex thinks he is better than this family. I have been protecting Lily from his toxic attitude. A bride should not have a brother like that ruining her happiness. Nora skipped ahead. The truth is, I am jealous, Diane said. My son makes more money at 29 than his father ever did. Instead of being grateful, he flaunts it. Someone has to cut him down to size. So yes, I have been correcting the narrative. Nora paused the audio. She admitted more, Nora said. She threw away your birthday card to Lily so Lily would think you forgot. She told your grandmother that you called her stories a waste of time. She admitted that you were never invited to the events she claims you skipped. My hands began to shake slightly around my glass. That is not all, Nora added. She scrubbed to another section and hit play. I told the restaurant that Alex is paying tonight, Diane said. When the bill arrives, he will either pay and show humility or refuse and prove everything I have been saying. Right on cue, a waiter approached carrying a black leather portfolio. Excuse me, sir, he said. Here is the final bill for your celebration. I opened it. $2,894 stared back at me. Nora let out a low whistle. Ethan muttered something that would have made Grandma demand soap. There must be a misunderstanding, I told the waiter. Mrs. Diane Carter informed our manager that you would take care of the bill, he said. She mentioned this dinner was your way of making amends after recent difficulties. Nora turned so her voice faced the nearest tables. We are not even on the seating chart, she said. You can ask the host. Her comment rippled through the room. Conversations dipped. People glanced from us to the head table. Lily frowned in our direction. I closed the portfolio and looked toward the small microphone stand near the front of the room, the one connected to the ceiling speakers the staff had used earlier. Nora followed my gaze and smiled slowly. "You are thinking about sound reinforcement," she said. "If my reputation is going to be the evening entertainment," I replied, "then the least I can do is supply the correct audio." Ethan stared at the phone, then at the mic, then at me. "You are really going to play it?" "Yes," I said, feeling a strange calm settle over me. After months of fiction, the room can handle a few minutes of truth. The manager did not like it, but he liked the risk of fraudulent billing even less. 2 minutes later, Nora's phone was plugged into the sound system, and the soft piano music had faded to silence. I took the microphone. My hands were steady. That surprised me. "Good evening," I said. "Quick announcement before dessert. I promise this will be more interesting than the tiramisu." Uneasy laughter rolled through the room. Lily looked from me to our parents. My father stared at his napkin. Diane stared at me like she wanted to rearrange my DNA. "In the last few months," I continued, "a story has been going around about me. Some of you have heard that I refused invitations, insulted this engagement, and decided I was too important for family events. I would like you to hear exactly where that story came from." "Alex, stop this," my mother snapped. "I tried stopping this quietly," I said. "You did not." I nodded to Nora. She pressed play. My mother's voice rolled through the speakers. "I am so glad someone else sees it, Nora. Success has gone to his head. Alex thinks he is better than this family. I have been protecting Lily from his toxic attitude. A bride should not have a brother like that ruining her happiness." Aunt Maya gasped. Across the room, Grandma lowered her fork very slowly. Nora let the next section run. "The truth is, I am jealous. My son makes more money at 29 than his father ever did. Instead of being proud, I resent him. So yes, I have been cutting him down to size. If the family sees who he really is, maybe he will remember where he comes from." Silence followed that confession. Grandma stood. "Diane," she said, "you told me Alex said my stories were boring. You said I was burdening him when I called. I stopped ringing because I did not want to bother my grandson." My mother opened her mouth, but Nora skipped ahead. "I threw away his birthday card before Lily could see it," Diane said in the audio. "And tonight I told the restaurant he is paying. When the bill arrives, he will either pay and learn humility or refuse and prove me right." Every gaze shifted to the black leather folder on a nearby table. The manager cleared his throat, took the microphone, and faced the room. "For clarity," he said, "our staff was informed by Mrs. Diane Carter that her son had offered to host this dinner. Given what we have just heard, we will be correcting the invoice." Lily stood, cheeks wet. "Mom," she said, "did you really throw away his card? Did you tell me he called my engagement a mistake?" Diane remained silent. Marcus rose beside her. "For months I thought Alex disliked me," he said. "Now I see he was never even invited." I stepped away from the microphone and met Lily's eyes. "I mailed the card," I said. "I tried to call. I never said anything against you or Marcus." Lily glanced at our mother, then at Nora's phone, then back at me. "Then tonight is not just an engagement dinner," she said quietly. "Tonight is our chance to decide what kind of family we want to be." No one reached for dessert menus. The celebration had turned into a verdict. What happened after Marcello's was less explosion and more slow reordering. My mother left that night, clutching her purse like a trophy she could still win. My father followed, apologizing to no one in particular. No one chased them. That was new. Over the next week, phones lit up with very different conversations. Grandma called me herself and cried while apologizing for believing I had been irritated with her. Aunt Maya admitted that she had felt something was off, but had gone along with the easier story. Uncle Raj volunteered to help Lily review every account my mother had touched. Diane sent one long message about betrayal, ingratitude, and how children owed their parents unconditional loyalty. The words apology and responsibility did not appear. After some thought, Lily and I agreed on a simple reply. When you are ready to talk about what you did, instead of what we owe you, we will listen. She did not answer. 3 months later, Lily wedding day arrived without glitter walls or dramatic seating charts. The ceremony took place in a small greenhouse at Riverside Gardens, all glass panels and hanging plants. Marcus' parents had quietly covered the deposits my mother once claimed she had paid. Relatives had pooled funds to replace the rest. No one trusted Diane with spreadsheets anymore. In the dressing room, I fixed a crooked piece of veil while Lily watched us in the mirror. You know, she said, for a while I really thought you hated Marcus. It felt safer to believe you had changed than to consider that Mom was lying. You changed your mind when you saw evidence, I said. That is more than most people do on the internet. She laughed, then wiped her eyes carefully so the makeup would survive. Will you walk me down the aisle, man of honor? Gladly, I said. When the music began, she took my arm. My father's seat in the front row stayed empty. He had mailed a card that hoped time would heal everything. It did not mention how healing usually starts with truth. We walked between rows of family members who now knew that the story they had been fed for months was fiction. Marcus waited at the front, nervous and delighted, and entirely himself. The vows he and Lily exchanged focused on honesty, on choosing each other, and on building a home where success would be celebrated instead of punished. At the reception, Uncle Raj lifted a glass. To Lily and Marcus, he said, for building something real, and to Alex, for refusing to pay for his own character assassination. Laughter went around the room, but there was respect in it. Later, sitting with Nora near an open doorway, I watched couples dance under strings of lights. Any regrets? She asked. About not just paying the bill and keeping things quiet. Quiet and healthy are not the same thing, I said. If we had stayed quiet, the lie would still be running the family. She nodded. Revenge by truth. Efficient. Maybe that was accurate. The part that stayed with me, though, was not the recording or the public embarrassment. It was the moment Lily looked at me and chose my actual behavior over a convenient story. That was the real victory. Family, I decided, is not the people who never get upset when you succeed. It is the ones who can handle the full volume of you and still want you at their table, with your name on the card.